How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
All right, Jerry.
Where you been?
We're kind of day in the country a little bit.
In the country parts?
Yeah, man. Jerry.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you have a guest coming out. Yesterday, article this morning in the paper about the what's happening in Timbuktu, the birthplace of intellectualism, where thousands of ancient manuscripts were burned, but based on invasion from French troops. And the British, as a Cameron, wants to send troops into.
Cameron, the Prime Minister
of England, yeah.
Yes.
The Western Europeans have invaded Mali.
Mali.
And they are claiming that the persons leaving the area burnt those ancient manuscripts.
Yes.
You don't see the article?
No, well, no.
All right.
Boy, I truly don't know what you just do. I'm going to tell you what you just do. Now I'm going to introduce it to two young ladies. I just met them less than 10 minutes ago.
All right, that's how I'm going to listen.
No, yes, don't hang up. One of them is from St. Lucia. Good morning. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Good morning. I'm Rochelle, the Tourville, and I'm from St. Lucia.
Yes, ma'am. And the next lady, please introduce yourself.
Good morning. I'm Rianne Francis from Trinidad and Tobago.
Beautiful. I never hear more beautiful accent than this, except in Africa. Now, Miss Francis, what did I say to you a while ago outside about that something that this lady just said on the phone here now? Could you tell me?
About Timbuktu?
Yes, what did I say to you? I met you less than 10 minutes ago. And what did I say to you? We are new students at the university. What did I say to you?
That Timbuktu was one of the first universities ever before the English universities, etc.
Before any European had any university. And how did we get to talking about that?
Well, you asked us if we knew the history of how our people came here, etc.
Yes. So. And when I told you about those universities, was it easy to believe, my lady from St. Lucia?
No, it wasn't.
Was not easy to believe.
It was surprising because of everything they've taught us. And
yeah, what they taught us is about the glories of France. You are from St. Lucia that France captured. And they teach you in St. Lucia about the glories of France. And they teach her, Miss Francis and Trinidad, about the glories of Britain. And now this caller here, when my mind told me to ask the technical operator to invite you in here. I didn't even tell you that what you were coming in here for, because I didn't plan it. And the caller here now, you think I have arranged this phone call with this lady?
No, not at all.
And what is this caller saying to you?
The same.
Yeah, she's saying that on the papers, in these newspapers, there's an article today that some people at war in Africa, and some of them have burnt some of the manuscripts and different things from the ancient university in Timbuktu. That I talked to you less than 10 minutes ago. It is now 12 minutes after 10. I was outside listening while the news was being read, so it must be less than 12 minutes ago. And do you believe now that Africa, that we were not destitute when they captured our people from Africa? We were not destitute, idling on the seashore when they came and captured us and brought us here? Do you believe now?
Yes.
No. Hello, ladies.
Yeah.
Incidentally, too, the history of are you aware of where are the original French who developed the nation France?
No.
Develop what? Develop what?
The nation France.
The French nation.
Right. The black Africans that came across and actually are the developers of this nation called France.
Did you know that Southern Europe, Southern France, Spain,
Italy,
Portugal, the whole of Southern Europe,
yes,
was ruled by Africans for 800 years?
Yes.
No, I'm asking them. Hold on, my lady. Hold on, my caller.
Yeah.
I'm asking you. Did you know that Southern Europe was ruled by Africans for 800 years?
No, this is actually surprising.
Yes. Starting in about 700 and something AD, Africans from the northern and western part of Africa was in control of Europe and helped to develop Europe, all at the same time exploiting them and enslaving them. And after 800 years, some of them broke free. And it was in breaking free after learning things from us Africans that they came down in Africa with arms now and did a tit for tat and captured Africans and brought them in slavery. So some of our people had them in slavery before, but you weren't taught this, were you?
No.
What are you here to study, Miss Francis?
Geography.
Geography. That's great. And is geography, what kind of science is geography?
Well, it isn't natural. It's more of a social science.
Yes, that is surprising to a lot of people to learn that geography is a social science. How could geography, the study of land and of this and that, be a social science? But it is a social science because it is actually the study of human beings moving around over the world.
Yeah.
And the reasons why they move along with they move there because this precious thing is there or that fertile land is there. So the movement and the fertility of the land is one study.
Yeah.
So what you come to study, Miss? What is the name again?
Rochelle.
Rochelle. French name.
Hello, Jerry.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, I'm going to hang up now after this. Germany. There's an interesting situation in Germany. And the colors of the flags is also important for these ladies. While you talk to them, I'm going to listen. In Germany, there's an exhibition of a real human being. She's Joan, a black woman. And the German says she is the original mother of the German nation. Understand? So I'm going to listen to your program with these two ladies.
Isn't it hard to believe all this kind of jargon that this lady is saying?
I'm going to hang up
It's not hard to believe because we were not prepared for these things like this.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your caller. Thank you very much. So it's so good for you to be here. I'm so glad that I walked outside and meet you a while ago. So how long ago you left high school, Miss Rochelle?
June last year.
June? Yes, that's great. And I see that you are naturally beautiful.
Yes, I'm keeping it natural.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And you are not afraid. You are not afraid for your mouth to look like how it looks. It is beautiful.
No.
So the white ladies who their mouth is different. Do you know how lipstick originated? The use of lipstick. Lipstick is used to make people lips darker, like how you stay. Or that is a sign of beauty. So lipstick was originated to make people look like you. You know that? And to make them lips look like you, fuller. You know, and like our suntan. What is suntan good for, Miss Francis? People going in the sun and tanning. What's that good for?
To get them darker.
No, talking to the mic, please.
To get them darker.
Get them darker and more beautiful. Not true?
Yeah.
And tan good. In Jamaica, tan means stay.
Yeah.
Stand or stay. So when a lady is beautiful, they say that she tan good. Not that our sun tanning, but anyway, it's true.
Yeah.
But anyway, and you know, how long ago you left school, Miss Francis?
Same time, June.
June.
Last year.
Yes. And you grew up in Trinidad.
Yeah.
And you keep your hair beautiful too.
Yeah.
But your eyebrow, you don't change up your eyebrow.
Not often, no.
Not often.
No.
Sometime.
Sometimes. Once in a while.
Once in a while. Because you get bored.
Yeah.
But we don't get bored with seeing you like how you stay.
That's good.
Thank
you.
So tell me a little about Trinidad now. Tobago. You know Tobago?
Yeah. Well, I just go to Tobago for vacation, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For vacation.
Yeah.
I have never seen the water with more beautiful color than what I see at the beach in Tobago.
Yeah. Booker Reef especially. Yeah.
Come again?
Booker Reef and Nylon Pool in Tobago. Beautiful.
Yeah. So is singer singing or talk it out?
You get that all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you do it on purpose?
No, that's just how we are.
Yeah?
It sounds like a song, and when you realize you're out of Trinidad, then it's like, oh, we really sound as though we're singing.
Yeah, that's nice. And you know, I went to the beach in St. Lucia. Sandals Beach.
Oh.
You know Sandals in St. Lucia?
Yes, I do.
And I walk onto the beach, Sandals Beach. Nobody could stop me. Because in St. Lucia, the St. Lucian government says you cannot stop our people from coming on the beach at Sandals.
No, the beaches are free. It's
Tell them again, please. In Jamaica, the people in Jamaica don't know that.
the beaches are free. It is public property. You could build your hotel, whatever, on right next to the beach, and the beach is public property. You don't have to pay anything to enter.
Yeah, so you can walk in there and you enjoy anything that Sandals put on the beach there.
Yeah.
And you walk out onto the pier and you sit and you do anything whole day. No one can move you.
Yeah.
Now in Jamaica at Sandals, you cannot do that because the Jamaican government has made up with Sandals to take away those privileges from the people of Jamaica. Can you believe that? But this is normal to you
Yeah.
because you are full free. You know that?
Yeah.
But we in Jamaica, our people are not fully free yet. So it's lovely for us to interact and meet you. because your island is small, but it is setting an example for Jamaica. You think it's a joke? Tell me about Grosse-Ile.
Oh, Grosse-Ile is one of the main places for action in St. Lucia.
Yeah.
Has...
Just say it, man. Just talk it. It has what?
Okay. That's where you have the fish fiestas on Friday nights.
Yeah.
There's this beautiful place called Pigeon Point Park.
Yeah.
And there are ruins there from when they had forts, when there were forts and fighting in colonial powers. And yeah, that's what it is. It's just a great place to be.
Okay.
If you're
all right. Tell them about Anslaré.
Oh, Anslaré is a very nice village. It's a really, it's just lovely. It's just a lovely village on the west coast.
Yes.
And village life in St. Lucia is one of the best lives you could live.
Yes.
There's fishing, there's always something to do, fiestas and stuff like that. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And the beach is so close, you could just, it's wonderful.
Yes. And one of the few places that I never walk on foot, because anytime I go anywhere, I walk on foot all around. I don't rent no car until I walk out the whole place all 1 week. After that, I will rent a car. Tell them about Laventille.
Oh, well, technically I am from Laventille, so this will be easy for me. Laventille is stereotyped as one of the major ghettos in Trinidad, but honestly, the people are just misunderstood.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're really beautiful people.
So it's supposed to be a tough place.
It's supposed to be a tough place. It is, but they're just misunderstood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have people who are business executives who still live in Laventille.
Yeah, Syrians actually. They started their business in Laventille and they moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're still there. Some of them are still there, and the East Indians as well.
Yes, yes. Well, I have a pre-scheduled guest on the phone now. And thank you very much for having been here. I hope to talk to you again.
Yeah, thank you for having us. It was nice.
But it looked like coincidence, but it's no coincidence that when the lady called, she brought up about this thing here because sometimes. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I would like you to leave your numbers, so we can stay in contact with you, and you feel welcome to come to this program anytime you feel like.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we have our guest on the line, our scheduled guest on the line. Professor Rosalie Hamilton, and she is the CEO at the Institute of Law and Economics at the University of Technology. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning. Good morning.
So welcome to have you here. And the University of Technology is developing in so many ways that the people not aware of. You know, have an Institute of Law and Economics?
Yes, the Institute of Law and Economics has had a relationship with the University of Technology, Jamaica. In fact, the Institute was instrumental in establishing the Faculty of Law at UTech.
Yes.
And so the relationship exists. I was the CEO in the past.
Yes.
I'm now a director. And so, we continue to do a number of activities that involves, legal issues, training lawyers as well. We do a pre-law program in collaboration with the University of Technology, Jamaica, as one way to matriculate into the Faculty of Law.
Yeah.
So you can it's equivalent to your CAPE. So we do that, and we do a number of other things that can facilitate the economy, especially the work with the small business sector. We do a number of training programs, in particular a program we call BEEP, the Business Entrepreneurial Empowerment Program. And that's a program we think that helps businesses to understand what is required to compete in a global market economy. And so we do those trainings. So we do a number of other economic and legal type of activities.
We're talking about economic and legal. UTech, University of Technology, is developing education in civil law In other words, the law that governs human affairs, the law that governs human society, people moving together in communities or, you know, in between communities. But there's also economic law.
Yes.
Because hasn't humanity discovered that there are certain laws that govern the exchange of goods and resources and capabilities between human beings?
Quite so, and in fact, trade law is perhaps the best example of that, because ever since the development of the World Trade Organization in 1995, that body of law has even taken on greater significance, because we recognize now that in order to manage global trade, we need a legal framework. And so there's a whole system and body of law that has developed to guide how we exchange goods and services. And it's important, it's not just goods, but also services. And so intellectual property is part of that. Yeah. Trade in services is a part of that. A whole body of work has developed since we define the trade in services according to the rules of the World Trade Organization. So all of that is part of that legal framework that guide economic activities.
Yes, so talking about guiding economic activities, not only is it necessary for human beings to agree on regulations and laws about how trade must be conducted, but there's also other almost natural laws within economics, such as the law of supply and demand. That's another kind of law, isn't it?
Yes, well, of course, that has been the subject of much economic discussions for decades. What exactly is this law of demand and supply? Yeah. And theorists along the way have debated its role in understanding economic activities. For a long time, the view is that the dominant determinant of that relationship is the price, and that the price is the dominant factor, and that much of economic activities can be defined in those terms. But over time, it is recognized that other variables are as important, perhaps even more important, depending on the circumstances, like the institutional relations in a country.
Yes.
And that you can't ignore those, as well as social variables, the relationship between men and women, and very importantly, the relationship between people and its government.
Yes.
So the governance arrangement also impact economic activities and have, is part of that relationship that shapes demand and supply.
Yes.
And so the very constitutional arrangements is key, and it's not very obvious. We tend not to see the Constitution and the constitutional rules as important in defining economic activities.
Yes.
But if we dissect it and look at it carefully, it is critical and it is central to explaining how goods and services are produced, how and supplied, and how they're demanded in a global marketplace.
Yes, because as is discussed often, a market is actually the assembly or connection and or connectivity between the people who need things and the people who have the things that are needed, or have the raw material of the things that are needed, and how they interact and what arrangements they make to pass things from one side to the other side, and what compensation they might fix. So the market really is decided between the buyers, not the one buyer, the buyers and the seller, who sometimes is a one seller or sometimes is more than one seller. And because of that, for instance, with the scrap metal trade, there is a need abroad to get metal that is not being used again to recycle, and there is available in Jamaica a lot of metal that is not being used here. So therefore there is a market available to buy up these old metal and a market abroad to sell to. But then now the government finds it necessary to implement some laws and some rules to keep things not out of hand and not damaging to anyone. So this is also the laws of economics and the laws of civil society interact with one another. And after we go for this break, you will help explain to us now how the constitution of a country becomes even one of the factors in the market, and how the voters in a country become customers, and sometimes the politicians become suppliers of goods and services, supposedly. Thank you very much, Professor.
Newstalk 93 FM, heard everywhere. The time on Newstalk 93 FM is 10:30.
Get down, Joseph! When last you ever see a 50-year-old man in a tree, eh? Mind you drop and pop your back.
Come on, Merle, I feel young and sprightly.
Okay, but don't say I didn't.
Oh! Merle.
Bill Protect to the rescue.
What, Merle?
Thank heavens we're Bill Express customers, because you clearly just popped your soul line and cannot go to work.
Pay your light and water bill at Bill Express and get free Bill Protect. If you get injured like Joe, we will pay your light or water bills for up to 2 months for free. Call 926-5442. Bill Protect from Bill Express. We will pay it when you can.
Conditions apply.
Don't Agnew Show, a space for adults to speak freely about health issues, sex, love, and lifestyle issues.
Join Heather, Lady D, and Sarah as we speak frankly about adult issues.
Remember, tune in to Newstalk 93 FM between the hours of 9 and 11 p.m.
every Thursday night
for The Dawn Agnew Show.
Do you want good laughter, clean fun, and wonderful company? Then join me, Wesley Burger, the Burger Man, inside the Fun Factory, Mondays through to Fridays, 2:30 to 5 p.m. on Newstalk 93 FM. That's Mondays to Fridays, 2:30 to 5 p.m. for good fun, games, giveaways, prizes and surprises, and a whole lot of music. So join me, the Burger Man, Mondays to Fridays, 2:30 to 5 p.m. on Newstalk 93 FM.
I know, but it's a Fun Factory.
The Fun Factory.
Fun Factory.
Newstalk 93 FM. Come for the fun.
Newstalk 93 FM, heard everywhere.
Yes, welcome back to Straight Up. Talking with our guest today, Professor Rosalie Hamilton of the Institute of Law and Economics at the University of Technology, and many other institutions and organizations which she has helped to develop. So, Professor Hamilton, hello?
I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. Now, Jamaica started out in terms of the English regime. Jamaica started out as a raw material, or a source of raw materials for the development of wealth of Britain. But not to go through the whole of the history of the colonialism. Eventually, by 1962, Jamaica was not just a raw material source for Britain, but it was also a client or a buyer in the marketplace of British goods. But when they decided to divest Jamaica, when Britain, like some empires peacefully divest colonies, some are broken up and some peacefully divest colonies. When they decided to divest Jamaica, Britain made sure that they would hand over Jamaica to a set of people who could be trusted to maintain the same market. Is this not so?
Trusted to maintain
the same market.
Yes.
Jamaica.
Well, and you could almost argue maintain the same legal framework as embedded in the Constitution.
Yes, that's what exactly. That's where I'm coming to.
And by extension, the market. Yes, I agree.
Yes, so that is why the Constitution was handed over to the Jamaica, to the local authorities, and only on the condition that this type of Constitution would be adhered to. So I heard you commenting recently on another station, another program, that this is one of the sources of our awkwardness here now, because we have done nothing to craft the Constitution or retool it or make a Constitution that is perfectly suited to us, the Jamaican population.
Yes, well, again, the history is important, because as you rightly mentioned, you had a handful of people essentially who crafted the Constitution. The Jamaican people were never involved in it. And the Constitution is a statute of the United Kingdom. A special Jamaica Independence Act was created, and therefore it's rooted in the legal framework of the UK, and it's not part of our legal framework in that strict legal sense. It's important to note that in 2007, when we had the bicentenary of the abolition of the transatlantic slave trade, A.J. Nicholson went to Parliament and reminded us of this, and in fact noted not only that it's not it's a statute out of the UK, but pointed out to the fact that we still have the head, reminded us we still have the head, in the Governor General, and if the Governor General wants to visit the UK, remember the Governor General represents this Queen of England, and if he wants to go, he has to have a visa. And that the judicial system is still headed by this judicial committee of the Privy Council, which was the former colonial arrangement. He cited those as the three important reasons why we need to change. Now, there are other important reasons why we need to change the Constitution, and there are substantive ones. How do we get a set of rules that truly represent this relationship between the people who govern us and the people of Jamaica? That relationship such that it's a framework that we want, that it expresses the will of the people, and ultimately puts the power in the hands of the people and not in the hands of the people who govern. So
who would you say? The people who govern, who would you say that is in Jamaica? The people who govern?
Well, ultimately, by the Constitution, Section 69, we're talking about the Cabinet.
The Cabinet
in our Constitution provides the framework in which the policies of the country are determined and ought to be overseen by Parliament. And that's the part of Section 69 that we then tend not to look at. We forget that.
Yeah, so the cabinet
is the driving seat.
Yeah, the cabinet in effect governs Jamaica, and yet it is not answerable to the people of Jamaica.
Well, very good. It is answerable to the people of Jamaica via Parliament.
Via Parliament.
Via Parliament.
But does Parliament hold the cabinet to account on behalf of the people of Jamaica?
Well, therein lies the challenge, because what we've seen traditionally is a rubber stamping of the cabinet decisions and the extent to which these decisions are upheld because of the majority in Parliament by the government of the day.
So do you think that this is an accidental chicken and egg?
No, man, it's designed. In fact, if you go back to the colonial thing, it makes a lot of sense. If you are governing a people, most of whom are illiterate, most of whom who you don't believe ought to be part of the decision making anyway, they are former slaves and ex-slaves. You feel that the seat of power is in Britain, right? It makes a lot of sense to have a highly centralized system of government where the people are essentially shut out and the few persons at the top make all the decisions for the majority. That system makes a lot of sense in a colonial arrangement.
Yes.
Now, if we look good, we've not changed it fundamentally since independence.
Yes.
So we still have all of the key decisions made at the top. You just have to ask problem they face every day. I was in Trelawney just yesterday, and the town needs to be cleaned up. There are all kinds of issues with the waterway and so on. And as we pose the question, we keep hearing, well, these are central decisions. It's either NWA's decision or somebody else's decision. But the resources at the local level that's required to fix local problems are highly centralized.
All right, listen here now. Listen now, Professor.
One more thing, I want to draw the attention to the public to what we saw the mayor of Portmore said recently last year in the face of the mosquito outbreak. He said, I am powerless to fix the problem because the Ministry of Health makes all of these decisions and I can't fumigate and do what I need to do to solve this problem in Portmore. We have put a legal arrangement in place in the municipality to bring those decisions closer to the people of Portmore. Yet we still have not devolved enough power in the hands of the people so that the citizens can have a say in the critical decisions.
All right, do you get the impression that the leaders of the two parties understand these things that you have just said?
Well, I can't speak for the leadership.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you to speak for them. I'm not asking you to speak for them. I'm asking you if you get the impression that they understand these things that you have just talked about.
Well, I would have to say yes. I believe they must understand it because, with respect to local government, both administrations have embraced the local government reform discussions and documents that have been ongoing prior to the 90s, but very significantly, I think it was 1994 when that significant piece of local government document was tabled in Parliament. And there have been a lot of discussion and agreement of the need to devolve power, but it has not happened.
No, the main point, hold on, the one point I want to clear up is that whether the leaders of these two parties understand the situation or not, and as you say, they must understand the situation. The other thing is this, you must have heard A.J. Nicholson and Mr. John Jr. and Omar Davis and a couple more of them saying over the last few years that Parliament is the highest court of the land. You must have heard that.
Yes, of course.
And what is your opinion on that?
Well, in fact, on the Constitution, it is supposed to be the highest. It is the body that makes the laws of the country.
Yes.
Right? What we've seen, however, is the authority and power of the Parliament trumped by the Cabinet and by extension the Prime Minister because of the Prime Ministerial power, not only in Cabinet but throughout the Constitution.
Yes.
So what we've seen is a practice essentially that has shifted that source of power and removed it from the hands of the people.
All right, may I ask you this? Who chooses the Prime Minister of Jamaica?
Well, we have an election. And we have an election against the people of Jamaica choose the person selected by the party that has made that decision who would lead it. Not only the party.
No, hold on. The people of Jamaica choose who?
The people by the way we set up the electoral system. When you vote for a party.
We set up the electoral system?
Well, put it this way. By our silence and complicity and our lack of criticism about the current structure, we've agreed to it.
Yeah, and who you said chooses the Prime Minister?
So the Prime Minister is chosen by an internal process of a party that has thrown up a leader, and that leader is presented to the nation, and in national elections we vote for the party and by extension.
No. The people of Jamaica have no choice in the Prime Minister of Jamaica. Is this not true?
Well, put it this way. I don't think that's fully true because the people of Jamaica have a choice to be part of any political party. Once they become part of that political party, they can choose the leader of that party.
No, so therefore, the people of America have chosen the president of America. And hold on a minute, please. The people of America have chosen the President of America, and the people of Jamaica have chosen the Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Well, not in the same way. The difference is the direct elections with respect to, in the case of America, and in the case of in Jamaica, there is an indirect process that people have an option to be a part of. You can choose not to be part of any political party. Most of us choose not to be. That's just data. But once you make a choice to be part of a political party, there are processes within the two dominant political parties in which.
So this is a satisfactory arrangement then.
No, I'm not necessarily saying it's satisfactory.
All right, let's go for a break. Let's go for a break and come back, please.
News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere. The time on News Talk 93 FM is 10:45.
Do you or someone you know have a drug, drinking, or gambling problem? Rise Life Management Services offers a treatment information and a telephone counseling. Call us at 1-888-991-4146 or 967-3779 after 4:30 p.m. Help is now available 7 days a week, 8:30 a.m. to 12 midnight. All information will be treated confidentially.
I want to know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide.
Is there something on your mind? Have you ever wondered why some people behave the way they do? Then join the Mind Doctor, Dr. Christopher Charles, this and every Wednesday between 9 and 11 p.m. and he explores the issues. Remember, tune in to the Mind Doctor, Dr. Christopher Charles, this and every Wednesday between 9 and 11 p.m. right here on News Talk 93 FM.
The evening edition is refreshing and entertaining drive time radio weekdays 5:30 to 7 p.m. Join us Mondays to Wednesdays with Lambert Brown and Thursdays and Fridays with Delano C. Wright for captivating discussion, topical analysis, social and political commentary. Remember, tune in to the evening edition Monday to Friday between 5:30 and 7 p.m. right here on News Talk 93 FM, Drive Time Radio.
This is News Talk 93 FM, broadcasting from the University of the West Indies, Mona campus. News Talk 93 FM, heard everywhere.
Yes, welcome back to Straight Up. I'm your host, Jerry Small. We're concluding an interview with Professor Rosalia Hamilton. And we're talking about the 50 years of independence and the inherited constitution. Inherit in terms of having been handed down. But the fact is that it wasn't handed down to us, the people of Jamaica. It was handed down from the Parliament of Britain to the Parliament of Jamaica. And they own it. Professor Hamilton?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, could you rehearse for our listeners how the Constitution prescribes the choosing of the Prime Minister?
Well, again, the point is the framework exists in which the people have a right to vote.
No, I'm talking about the Constitution now. Could you?
The Constitution provides that mechanism of the vote.
No, I'm not talking about the vote now. I'm talking about the choosing of the Prime Minister. What does it?
Yes, but remember again, the point. A framework exists that the election. That's what is in the Constitution. The elections, in terms of a right to vote and so on. The selections.
Hold on.
I want to come back to this.
Yes, but hold on.
Allow me. The details within how a party selects a leader It's not in the Constitution. I know if that's what you're trying to get to.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to get to anything. I just want to rehearse what the Constitution says about the choosing of a prime minister.
Yes, what I am saying is that the mechanism with respect to the choosing of a prime minister is through the process of voting for a political party. Okay? And it is in
voting for a party to do what?
To control the country, to control the seats, for example.
No, not for example. The only vote is a vote for seats. That's the only vote. That's the only
right.
vote.
Yes, and that framework, I'm saying it's that framework that enables the citizens to vote for their representative.
No, I'm asking about the Constitution now. What does it say about the choosing of the prime minister?
Yes, what I'm saying.
Yes, but I still, we have to get to.
You're getting down, I am making the point that there is no explicit reference to the selection of a prime minister.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
The constitution, you're talking about the framework in which...
No, the Constitution refers... The Constitution... Yes,
the Governor General
yes.
agrees on the individual that has the confidence of...
No, not agrees. The Governor General not agrees. The Constitution states specifically about it. You don't know about it?
What are you referring to? Then what are you talking about, Jerry? Let me be clear.
No, yes, the Constitution... Yes, the Constitution speaks specifically about the choice of the prime minister and the appointment of the prime minister. You don't know about it?
And you're talking specifically about the framework in which the governor generally agrees on the.
Now, what does the Constitution say? Yeah, what does the Constitution say?
I'm not going to go into the specific provision in the Constitution.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
Because I don't have the Constitution in front of me. And
do you know it? Do you know it?
I am aware of it, yes.
Yes, and you can't rehearse it for us?
Sorry, well, that is what I was trying to do, but you're interrupting.
No. The Constitution specifically names the formula by which the Prime Minister's identity is identified.
Right.
And the Constitution says that when there arises a vacancy in the office of Prime Minister, you don't know that part of the Constitution?
Keep going.
No, I'm asking if you know that part of the Constitution.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Well, you see, the Institute of Law and Economics at the University of Technology.
No, the Institute of Law and Economics is not at the university.
Where is it?
Have a relationship.
Where is it?
It's an independent organization that has a relationship with the university.
Oh, it's an organization. Well, the Institute of Law and Economics has a duty to clarify to... Does that institute have students?
Yes, we have students.
Yeah, well, that institute has a duty to clarify to the students the method by which the Prime Minister of Jamaica is chosen, because it is being impersonated and insinuated and lied about that the Prime Minister of Jamaica is chosen by the people of Jamaica. The Prime Minister of Jamaica is not selected by the people of Jamaica, and the Institute of Law and Economics has a duty to clarify to the people of Jamaica the very same shortcomings of the Constitution that you were referring to in a radio program recently.
Right.
And which is the source of our problems here.
Right, and can I say that you have to remember in these constitutional arrangements, there are constitutional habits, traditions that we tend to follow. And so I think most
we who follow?
The Jamaican people.
No, who you speaking for there now?
Talking about Jamaican people.
No, but we don't follow any such thing. It has been imposed. It has been imposed upon us.
Fair enough, and I'm saying though that we do have a choice. I mean, the issues you are raising, for example, you are raising because you have a choice to expose the weaknesses and the.
No, it's not the weaknesses, no. It's a fraud. It's not the weaknesses. It's a fraud.
All right, fair enough. That's a strong language.
Yes, it is. It certainly is. It certainly is.
Right. But I want to say this before you end, and I know you're running out of time.
No, I'm not running out of time.
Well, I have to run.
You have to run, okay.
Yes, all right. So I want to say, however, that it's important that we know that this process of constitutional change, and this is a discussion, important discussion I think you're trying to engage me in, is a process that started formally in the 90s, right? And that discussion has led to, from 1992 to be precise.
Who started it? Who started it?
It was, in fact, under the leadership of Justice Carr.
So Justice Carr started this discussion?
It was a discussion that came out of Parliament.
No, but the people of Jamaica have been discussing this from long before that.
Right, exactly. Well, the discussion has been taking place, but not in any serious way, in the sense
you mean that when somebody has university degrees and title of judgeship, that is only when it becomes serious, but the ordinary people.
No. Let me clarify what I was about to say. In the sense of a loud noise, cry, demand on the part of the people of the country to change the constitution.
Oh, that was raised
I
by.
know that those discussions have been taking place from time to time, and I think they are important discussions. But we've never seen Jamaican people stand up in a very organized way and say, we demand a new constitutional arrangement in which we are part of. And what I want to say before I leave is that very significantly in 2007, A.J. Nicholson went to Parliament and told us that he's about to put a green paper in Parliament about this new constitution. The pros coming out of that whole tradition from 1992, when the select committee came into being and so on. Both sides of the House agreed on certain kinds of proposals. There were agreements that he talked about in the Senate. The agreement, for example, that the head of state should change. The agreement about the Charter of Rights. The agreement about a number of things. There was supposed to have put a green paper, and very importantly, the electorate was vote in a referendum on this new constitution. Right?
Hold on. Give me a chance now. So, you realize that the Institute of Law and Economics has a duty to clarify to the students and to the rest of Jamaica the method by which the Prime Minister is named. Now, the Constitution indicates that when there arises a vacancy in the office of Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Governor General shall determine that member of Parliament who enjoy the support of the most other members of Parliament and invite that person to form a government.
Right.
Now, do you know which member of Parliament, when Peter Phillips and Portia Simpson Miller contested the presidency of the People's National Party and Portia Simpson Miller won, do you know which member of Parliament up to that time had the support of the most members of Parliament?
No, I'm not aware.
Oh, so you didn't know how many MPs supported Portia Simpson Miller?
No,
and how many members? Yes, yes. I don't recall. And do you remember that P.J. Patterson announced that he is going to retire, and the Governor General, Sir Howard Cook, also is going to retire, and in the meantime, the Chief Justice, Mr. Lensley Wolf, shall act for 13 days, and during that time, the Prime Minister will name the successor Governor General.
Yes, I recall
Mr. Lensley Wolf never acted for any 30 days. P.J. Patterson suddenly announced that the professor from the university will be the new Governor General, and the Prime Minister, the Governor General did not send for that member of Parliament who had the support of the most other members of Parliament, and the Governor General, Sir Howard Cook, could not be trusted to carry out P.J. Patterson's dictates, and therefore the professor from the university was urgently put in there to make sure that the bidding of P.J. Patterson would be done.
All right, so Jerry, what I want to say before we wrap up that, listen, you are raising important discussions and issues about our constitution, the constitutional process, and the kinds of issues that Jamaicans must seize themselves with in terms of knowledge. And I do think that even if you don't have all the details of the constitution on your fingertips, as Jamaicans.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
As Jamaicans, generally.
No, who doesn't?
Most of us. Most of us don't.
No, you can't. You have to speak for yourself, you know.
Yeah, but I want to say, though, get to the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that if we feel as a people that we have a constitution that doesn't properly define the relationship between those who govern us and the people.
Who governs us? Who govern us?
Well,
they don't govern. No, they don't go. No, hold on. They don't govern. No, they don't govern me. I don't know if they govern you. They don't govern me.
Allow me to finish.
I'm so sorry. We're completely out of time. We have to go for the 11 a.m.
Thank
you very much for having come. Thank you very much.